In today's video, we will take a look at real estate market report activities in Southwest Florida, Naples, Bonita Springs, Marco Island, and Estero. January and February 2025. My name Anna Eckstein, Naples Ultimate Luxury Group, Realty One Group, MVP. Let's start. All right, let's start with Naples single-family homes. And what we're going to do is, moving forward, a little bit of redesign so we can take a look to see what's going on with 1 month of activity, 12 months of activity. And also I included we'll take a look at medium sales price, medium price per square foot, new listings, and we will take a look all of this between January and February of 2025. So let's start. So for the single family homes in Naples, we can take a look that our medium sales price is in a 1 month of activity, it's actually $800,000 and it's up by 7%. In a 12 months worth of activity, it's actually up by 3%. And it's $760,000. So if you're asking me, Anna, what the difference between 1 month of activity and 12 months, so if you're looking for a longer trend, pay attention on the 12 months of activity because it's take a data of 12 months. If you're just curious to see how the seasonality affecting us, as we know, the seasonality is a big thing for Southwest Florida, you can take a look the 1 month of activity. That's why I wanted to share with you both, okay? So you can see how that is affecting, especially when you're looking in February. So when we roll in February, we actually dropped by 6% in the medium sales price just in February compared to a year ago. Because think about the year ago, our medium sales price was $834,500 and now it's $785. But if you look at overall trend, remember we talked about that it's a 12 months of activity, then we're still up by 1% and our medium sales price is $751,500. So if you ask me, Anna, what the heck our medium sales price is, our medium sales price in Naples for single family homes would be $751,500 in the month of February. You're always looking longer term of activities. So medium price per square foot for the longer term is $378 in the month of January and $377 for the month of February. We're still up by 2%. The new listings, this is where the challenges come in moving forward. It's just every update that I do, like all of these numbers, just double digit. The new listings, there's more inventory on the rise. We are up compared to a year ago by 24%. New listings come in January, 1,082 for single family homes. In February, 843. And we also up by 3%. Overall trend is also up. The active inventory. So active inventory means the inventory didn't sell within that period of time. What we're looking right now, January, right? Within 1 month of activity. So we still have that 3,266 and it's up by 32%. It's up by 40% if you took it thinking of longer term, right? It's up by 32% in February and up by 39% in the 12 months of the activity. So everything that you see is up, up, up. The medium days on the market is 51 days in January, 52 days in February, and both up. The month supply, so where we at, is very important to understand. So anything above 6 months, we definitely in a buyer's category, in a buyer's market. So if you look in the January alone, compare just the 30 days, right? The 1 month supply, it's 9.5 months of inventory. That's not good. If you're a seller and you're watching this video, you have to really strategize when you're putting your property on the market, on the marketing, on how you've been presented online. There's just so much things that would come in play these days. So if you look in overall trend, doesn't look anyhow, just maybe a little bit better, but you're still in a buyer's market category. It's 7.5%. Now, for February, it's getting even worse. It's 10.3. 7.8 is overall loan trend. Now, showing, so this is medium showing to pending. It's how many showings do you need to have so your property goes pending. But it's, you have to understand, guys, it's average. So some properties would need a little bit more, some properties would need a little bit less. But here we are for February, it's 8. So if you're a seller, you have to have on average 8 showings so your property get pending, right? So it's actually down, believe it or not, across the board. But you still have 7 for February. But on a longer, the terms, it's 8, and it's 8 as well, 8 showings. So we had 418 single-family homes that were pending in the month of January, and that's up by 6%. In February, it's 411 single-family homes were pending, and it's down by 8%. Overall trend is down in January for the single-family homes is 3%, and 4% down in a 12 months activity for the February as well, compared to the year ago. Sold. Now, we actually in January, and it's interesting, in January, we actually up by 21%. We sold 302 single-family homes. Overall trend, we are down by 7%. In February, in a short trend, we're down by 4%. We sold 308 single-family homes. And overall trend, we're down by 6% as well in February. So sellers in Southwest Florida, in Naples, they're getting around 96%-ish from the last list price before the property goes pending. So if you take a look, the condos and townhouses in Naples area, we can see that our medium sales price on overall trend is down, and it's $480,000 in the month of January. It's down also for the month of February overall trend, but we're still at $480,000 medium sales price. We're down across the board if it's 1 month of activity or 12. Our medium price per square foot is down as well. So our medium price on longer trend is $311, and $311 for the month of February as well. The new listings is on a rise as much as 25% to 1,190 for the month of January, and we added 902 in the month of February, and that's up by 1% as well. The active listings is on a rise. That's across the board, as much as 50%. That's becoming more and more and more challenging, and it's an issue in Southwest Florida because we really don't need any more active inventory, but it's piling up. After reports, after reports, after reports, it's been on a rise. Medium days on the market, of course, is rose from medium to longer terms, as much as 86%, you can see on the longer terms. Month supply, it's on a rise as well. On the longer terms, we're definitely in the buyer category. So if you're a buyer, it's excellent because you can definitely leverage your negotiation in today's market. There's just so much more active inventory if you're a seller, then with who you work is really matters in today's market for sure. Medium to showing, that's actually been a little bit dropped, which is, is good. 7, you can see 7 to about 6 showings for the condos in the Naples market. The pending inventory in the 1 month of the activity, we actually up by 10%, 365. And we up actually in February as well by 2% to 454 condos/townhouses when pending. We sold 251 condos and townhouses in January, and that's actually up by 3% compared to a year ago. And we are down definitely in February by 14% to 281 close transactions. And this is interesting because I would say it's probably the weakest month of March that I have seen, and I've been in Southwest Florida since 2006. So it's interesting, the trend where we're going in for sure. It's a scary trend, I'll be honest with you. As a real estate professional that been 20 years as a full-time agent, it's one of those, it's a calm before the storm. And I don't know, I mean, it all depends, honestly, as you guys all know, it all depends on the economy. And economy right now in such a tight rope, you just don't know, like it can go in so many different directions, and directions where it's hitting right now, it doesn't look that good either. So we'll see what happens. We can't predict the future, but one thing certainly what we do have in this economy is uncertainty. So the 95%, that's what the sellers getting for the condos in the Naples area in February or January. Now, Marco Island, let's take a look. So Marco Island, what we have here, we have medium sales price are up in Marco Island in a seasonality activities by 9%. Overall trend, it is down by 3%. So our medium sales price for single family homes in Marco Island is $1,600,000. And that's flat compared on the 12 months worth of activities. So median price per square foot on a longer term in January is down by 3% and also down by 3% in February, and it's $715. That's what you're looking for, medium sales price per square foot. New listings is up. We added 86 listings in January, and that's up by 26%. In February, we added 85 new listings, and it's up by 1%. The active listings, again, our active inventory is on a rise across the board. You can see as much as 20% in January and 13% up in February. Days on the market, we have about 60 days on the market. And in February, we had about 83 days. Overall trend, 12 months, is about 66 days. So month supply, we definitely in the buyer market as we speak. Anything above 6% is a buyer's market. And we anywhere from 9.5 to 10.5 months right now, if we look in 1 month of trend, and over 7 months, if you look in the 12 months of activity. The showing per listing until pending, it's, sorry for technical difficulties. So pending is the showing. We have in the Marco Island for single family homes, it's a 12 showings, and it's increased by 9%. And for the month of February, it's actually 8, and it's decreased by 43%. But overall trend is about between 13 to 12 showing per listing. So pending, we also decreased by 2% to 39 pending in the month of January, and 30 pending in the month of February, and it's decreased by 14%. We sold 29 single-family homes, and it's decreased by 12%. And decreased by 15%, we sold 31 homes in the month of February. And the sellers still getting anywhere from 92% to 95 to 93% of their asking price. Let's take a look at the condos for Marco Island. So condos in the month of February, with overall trend, we did lose a medium sales price to $670,000 and $675,000, and we lost 5% on overall trend in Marco Island for the condos and townhouses. And medium price per square foot on overall, we did lose, and month of February, we lost by 5%. So our medium sales price right now in Marco Island for the condos is $608 per square foot. We did gain new listings across the board on 1 month trend and overall trend. and as much as 12% on a 12-month trend in January. Active inventory is on a rise, as much as on a longer trend. Actually, you can see even more, between 45 to 41%. Medium days on the market now is actually down slightly by 15% to 56 days on the market in January. The overall trend is going up by 45% to 68 days on the market. And 70 days on the market is up by 43%. Its overall trend, days on the market for a month of February, 12 months worth of data. The months of supply, it's across the board, is up. Special guys, take a look, the months of supply on overall trend for the 12 months, it's over 10 months. So we definitely, and I think the condos had their own challenges, honestly, to Southwest Florida because of the milestone inspections that require, and just so many condos that throughout Southwest Florida, they need to update and upgrade their mechanical elements, and that being a huge hit. There's not, in some of the condos, there's not enough budget in that, so many residents hit with these huge assessments, and that brings overall condo challenges to its own challenges that we already having in Southwest Florida. So the showing to pending, you can see that that's about 6 to 7 on overall trend until it's get pending. The pending inventory is in a short, if we compare January to January, is definitely, you can see that it's down by 27%. February is down by 22%. The sold homes, actually, we are up by 33%, 36, and we were 27 a year ago in January. And also February is actually down. So you can see, actually, it's quite interesting. Regardless what you look in single family or condos, you can see the January was still kind of the people trying to be a little bit more optimistic side. And February, you can start to really see some cracks in terms of the pendings and sales. We'll see what that continue into March. I'm sure that would be, because the months of March, it's really brutal here. So we're down by 35% of the one month's worth of activity. So the seller is still getting on the condos about 95% of their asking price. 92% you can see in February. Bonita Springs. So where we at in Bonita Springs? So in Bonita Springs is actually very interesting. On single family homes, we are in a long trend. We're still up, even in January and February. February is up by 2%. Our medium sales price in Bonita Springs is $732,500. The medium price per square foot is up by 2% in February as well as January, and it's at $366 per square foot. The new listings up across the board in Bonita Springs. And active listings, again, in inventory is on a rise, especially the long term that you're looking, by 49 and 45% in the month of February. We're accumulating 494 active listings, and this is for the single family homes in Bonita Springs. Medium days on the market, overall trend is up. So we basically between 46 to 45 days now on the market in a longer trend. The month supply on a longer trend as well, it's up by 68 to 63%. It's about 7 months now. We're definitely in the buyer's market in Bonita Springs for single family homes. The showing to pendings, we have, on average, we have about 8 for the January and February. The pendings on overall trend is short-term trend on the pendings were up in January, but down overall by 5%. And February, you can see short-term or long-term, they both down as much as 6% on the long-term and 8% on the short-term. The homes on a short term, actually, we did end up selling more homes in January and February compared to a year ago. But if you look in the longer term, 12 months, we are down by 11%, and we're down in February by 6% on the longer term. And the sellers are still getting the 95 to 94% of the asking price. So condos, where we at on the condos? So condos, medium sales price on the longer term, we're still up by 3%. And actually, surprisingly, we're still up for the short term. We are down a little bit by 7% and 3%. But longer term, we are still up. So medium sales price on the longer term was still up by 3% overall. So medium sales price is $324 per square foot. Medium sales price for the condos in Bonita Springs, $495,000. The new listings is on a rise, especially on the longer term, by 15% in February to bring us to 1,509 as a new listings for the 12 months trend. The active inventory is on a rise by short term, long term, as much as 72%, 70% on a rise. Active inventory to 568 for the condos in Bonita Springs. Medium days on the market is on the rise as well to 54 days on longer term in Bonita. Month supply, we're definitely in a buyer's category. Longer term from January, 8.5 months to 9.1 months supply. Showings, it's about 7 showings until the property gets pending. And pending inventory, we also down on a longer term. We're down by 13% in January on the longer term, 18% down on the pending inventory in the months of February. Even in the short term, if you're looking, it's down 23%. So in terms of the homes that is sold, again, in February, you can see short term, long term, we are down on the longer term as much as 12%. So there's definitely less buyers stepping in and say, hey, I definitely would like to have a home in Bonita Springs in the condos market. And the seller's still getting about 96% of the asking price. And this is the last city for us to take a look. It's Estero for single-family homes. And we will take a look condos shortly. So you can see in Estero for the single-family homes, the medium sales price is still, you don't see that huge drop. And especially in the long term, you can still see that 12 months appreciation, a little bit shy of, it's actually 0.3% and 1% up compared to the 12 months. The medium sales price, it went down a little bit, especially on the longer 12 months term. Its medium sales price per square foot right now is $303. The new listings on the rise across the board, as much as 12% on overall 12 months activity for the months of February in Estero. The active inventory on the rise as well, as much as 57%. So in the months of February, 12 months of activity, now we have 353 single-family homes as active inventory. The medium days on the market, it's also on the rise. And its medium days on the market is 47 now in February, and it's up by 62%. The month supply, we're definitely in a buyer's category on the longer term. It's not as bad as on the short term. On the short term, you can see it's 7.3, 8 months worth supply in February. On the longer term, it's 6 months of inventory, but honestly, regardless what the 8 or 6 months, we're still in that buyer's market territory for the condos. The showing to pending is 8 showings. The pending inventory, actually, the condos did fairly well compared to some other ones that we review. The pending inventory is up by 5% and 6%. And the homes, the January did actually fairly well. We sold by 7% more compared on the 12 months period. The short term for February didn't do that much well. We're down by 14%, but we're up on a longer trend, still 3%. And the seller's still getting 97% of what they're asking. So this one is my last chart. Would be for the condos, and will conclude our Southwest Florida real estate market report. And you can see the medium sales price is down on the condos in Estero across the board, regardless if you look in short term or long term. And in February, on a longer term, is down by 5%, and our medium sales price is $409,000. Our medium sales price in the longer term for the condos in Estero also down by 6% to $276 per square foot. New listings added across the board as much as on the longer term. Take a look at this. The longer term for January, it's added by 49%. In February, we added by 11% in the longer term. So active listings also on a rise, especially on a longer term, as much as 89 to 88%. And on the active listings as of February, we 295 on the longer term. Medium days on the market is on the rise across the board as well, except short term for February, but on average it's about 46 days on the market. Month supply is up as well, and as much as on the longer term on February is 7.1, so it's definitely that buyer market. Showing to pending about 6. And pending inventory is definitely down across the board, regardless if you look in short term, long term, but on a longer term, down as much as 15% compared to a year ago in February to 465. Now, the properties that is actually closed and sold is down across the board, especially when you're looking on a longer term, and those ones down as much as 10% in January to 14% in February. So we sold in February 468 condos in the 12 months period. In just the 1 month, we sold 28. So it's definitely is down compared to a February of the last year. In the short term, it's 35%. That's a lot, guys. That's really a lot. That's 35. I mean, think about 28 condos just sold in, and previous year we sold 43. So that's a significant. So, and the seller's still getting 97%, 96% of what they list for from the last list price before when pending. So this is my last chart for the condos. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you find this video valuable for you and for your family. If you do so, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel below. If you seller, you're thinking of selling property in Southwest Florida, I would love to just sit down with you, create the success roadmap plan, how we can get there at the highest price possible in today's challenging real estate market. If you're the buyer and you're thinking of moving to Southwest Florida, I would love to sit down with you and to create your success plan, how you can move you and your family to Southwest Florida. My name is Anna Eckstein, Naples Ultimate Luxury Group, Realty One Group, MVP. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain.